Good morning, guys. MWUSA Season 3, Episode 134. And today is July 5th. We watched some fireworks last night. Had a good time. Today it's back to business as usual. But as always, I want to remind you about the reason for the holiday and whether you care about July 4th or Juneteenth or both or whatever. Understand that we do have a country that affords us more freedom than any other country. And although a lot of our freedoms seem to be under attack right now, there's no better place to be still. And we need to fight back and keep those freedoms and not let elected officials take them away from us. We need to make sure we do our research and elect the right people. So we'll just leave it at that for now. So yesterday was a shorter day as far as just yesterday by itself, but of course I was awake overnight and it was a very long day. Got home after 12 o'clock, so I was gone for whatever that would be, 30 hours, just like I expected. Had kind of a rough day the first day and started chipping away at it afterwards, but still never recouped it all. Although for the last week and a half I am ahead, so that's one small thing that I have going for me. Today I am going a different direction. I do have free play in the same area that I was yesterday, and a decent amount, but I've been there a lot lately, and we're going a different way. The other issue today is my coworker, who likes to put lots of meetings on the calendar, put 3 meetings on the calendar today. I think they're all an hour long each, and I have a team meeting which is an hour long as well, and that's really going to destroy my day. So I have to go in a direction where it's going to be a little bit shorter of a trip, so I have more possibility of being able to play. However, it's not going to be a lot of time. I'm only going to have about 2.5 hours of gambling time, about 7 or 6.5 hours of drive time. But you got to do something, right? So the plan this morning is to go to one casino. It's going to be a slots only casino, and we're going to play there. Then we're going to have 3-hour-long meetings in the car, of which I'm going to have to participate in multiple meetings, and I don't know for sure which ones are how long, so I will be driving and pulling over and driving and pulling over to get those meetings done. And then we will play some more slots. I may skip that place depending on timing and go play blackjack, and then from there kind of figure it out. There's a lot of casinos in the area, but I don't have a lot of time to play, so we'll see what happens. This morning I woke up with a big headache, which I still have, and I didn't take anything for it, so I brought a lot of water with me. I'm going to drink a lot of water, and hopefully I feel better. And we have a decent trip today. This direction generally does not afford me the opportunity to make a lot of money, but I still like to make $1,500 if that's possible. So that's what's going on right now. So I'm going to let you go, and I'll be back to update you. Alright guys, I am back. So I go into this place, and this place has been a real disappointment lately. Machines have gotten worse. They've gotten taken good machines out, put bad machines in. There's more competition, all kinds of things happening at the same time. But at the same time, there's pressure on advantage players. I don't want to go into detail, but they're doing things to mess with advantage players, to discourage advantage players. So this is 2 casinos now in 1 week where they've made some big changes toward advantage play. So, and in the long run, the casinos are going to make less money, not more money. I don't care what all those guys say, think about it. The average advantage player is not me or you. The average advantage player is a person who is poor for a reason, and they stay poor. They have been around gambling for a very long time. They learned how to do things just because they did it so much they found out how to do it the right way. But at the same time, when there are no plays, they go and they dump all their money and more and actually end up down. So the average advantage player that they think that they're trying to fight against is not the threat at all. The person who's the threat is the person who does it in teams and in bulk, and that's where most of the money is being made. But just like with blackjack players, casinos fight the wrong people. You know, the average blackjack player who is an advantage player, card counter, is not the threat. The average card counter is a losing player. What you need to go, well, I don't want to tell you what you need to go do, but they're wasting their money in the wrong places. So whatever, keep doing the wrong thing. We'll keep finding better ways to do things in the long run. So I go in here and I see very little going on. I played how many machines? 3 machines? 4 machines? I think 3 machines. First one I lost like $1. Second one, and I'm trying to remember. Second one I made. Where did I make the other money? First one I lost like $1. Oh yeah, actually 4 machines. Second one I made like 30, and then third machine I made about 10, and then fourth machine I did pretty well. The fourth machine is one that I rarely look at for a couple reasons. It has so many different levels to check, and it's so rarely in position. And when it's in position, it rarely pays anything. So it pays very little as well. And so it's just become one of those that if I don't just see it and it's obvious, or I don't have a lot of time, if I have a lot of time and I'm just waiting around for something, then I'll go through. But in this case, it was displayed right on the screen, and I'm like, okay. And I sat down. It was $2.50 a spin, and in 3 spins I hit, and I don't know what I netted, 170, 160, something like that. And by the time I finished up and I was leaving, I was ahead $192 for the session. So plus $192. Decent start. My head feels a little better. Still a little bit of a headache. I'm drinking a lot of water here, and we'll see how that goes. So right now I'm heading off to the second casino. The third casino is in the same direction, but about halfway through the trip you switch to a whole different road. So they are quite a bit apart from each other. However, about halfway through the trip I need to decide which way to go. So right now I'm going to start mapping things out. And what I have in mind is during my second meeting, which is an hour long, I'm thinking it may be canceled or it may be shortened because there isn't enough people. So in that case, I would have a couple hours of driving right now, and then I would have an hour or so with no meetings. If I drove to the further casino, I'd still be in the car driving, and by the time I got there, there'd be another meeting. So I have a feeling I'm going to continue on to the second casino as scheduled, and I'm hoping that the second meeting is canceled. If so, then I'll have an hour in there, and then on the way to the third casino, I'll have a meeting, and then I'll have at least an hour there to play. So we'll see how things go. This is just what I think is going to happen. I really feel confident about that. But right now I'm going to get my laptop back out, connect it up, look like I'm doing something, and move on here. Last night, right before I went to sleep, when I finished up the podcast from yesterday, I did hop on the laptop and kind of catch up on everything. So this morning, everything I think is in order. So letting you go right now. When I left home, it was about 68 degrees. and now it's up to about 75. Some clouds in the sky, but it looks like a really nice day. The sun is out, so I'm gonna sit back and relax, figure all this stuff out, and I'll be back to update you. All right, guys, real quick, as I'm getting back to the car, I got to this casino before my second meeting, and the first meeting ended early, so I was able to have about 20 minutes in the casino. So I walked in, looked around real quick, found a couple plays, played those through, saw all my Chinese friends that I missed so dearly since I haven't been here in over a month, and just played that stuff through, and a lot of machines have been taken out of here as well. But what are you gonna do? That's part of the game. Nothing new that is good is here at this point. I know there's some good games coming out soon, but there's nothing here right now. Let's see. So anyway, I ended up playing for 15 or 20 minutes, and now I'm back in the car. I have a meeting starting in 2 minutes, and I ended up ahead $108. So right now I'm getting my new meeting ready. I did get some feedback about the last meeting. I was driving on the highway while I was doing that meeting, and they said that it sounded like there was an echo. And then as I was talking to them, when I stopped somewhere, they said, huh, that's weird, the echo is gone. So that's what it sounds like. Sounds like an echo when I'm driving, and I don't think that that's that big of a deal. I think I can handle that. So all right now I am leaving this place. I'm getting my headset on, and I'll be back after my next stop. So I'm not really sure how this is going to go down. I may only get 10 minutes at my next stop before another meeting, so I may just be stuck in the car for a while. But anyway, letting you go. I'll be back. All right, guys, I am back. So that meeting finished up so quick that right now it's a race to get to this casino as fast as I can. Maybe take one spin around and look at slots, and then one spin, look at slots, go back to the car, do the other 1 hour meeting if I can get there in time. Right now traffic is a little bit heavy. Just one update here. I actually was wrong about what I made at the last place. It was not 108, it was 128, so plus $128 there. Now the weather has changed drastically. It's 77 degrees, but now it's completely cloudy. The sky is turning dark. I mean, I'm hours away from home at this point, so it's not like it's going to be the same as at home, but it's a lot darker skies, and I expect it to start raining here real soon. There is one casino that I visit rarely. I don't know if I can add it today just because I'm going to be so tight on time. I'm going to call home and see what we have going on tonight, and see if I have to be home right at like 6 o'clock or not, and then I'll decide what to do there. But at least we're making some scraps here and there. I'm remembering the days when I was happy to make $100 and was so excited that I could make, you know, a few $100s or $500 in a day, and that it was consistent, and that it was real, and that it was beatable. And now I look at a day where I make $500 and see it as a failure, and kind of get the wake-up call when you take a, you know, whatever it was, $6,000 loss 2 days ago, and it kind of wakes you up. So, you know, very blessed to be able to make $500 or $1,000 a day, and if you only have even a break-even day, you shouldn't complain too much. Although it's so easy to get complacent when you're doing this, because you're doing the exact same thing over and over again, and you're expecting to have the same results, and then when you don't, you're like upset that that happens. But anyway, all right, I'll be back. All right, guys, I'm back. So I go into this place, and the reason I'm talking while I'm walking here and I'm still in here is because I'm running low on time. I gotta get to the car for my next meeting, which it turns out is an hour and a half long, not an hour long, so that's gonna be a pain in the ass. But so I go in and I go straight to the blackjack table. I've got half an hour to play, and I had to leave. So I get back there, and there's only 2 tables open, and one of them is empty. So I sit down, and it's one of the dealers that usually treats me well. So I'm at a $50 table, spreading from $50 to $250. Start playing. First hand is a winner. Next 10 hands are losers. And I'm like, oh man, I only had half an hour. Just wanted to get in and out, and then maybe come back in after the meeting, just depending on how things go. But now that I know it's an hour and a half meeting, I think I need to move on while I'm driving, actually get somewhere else and be able to make some money. But anyway, then things turn around. The guy from the table next to me comes over, and he's a talker. Every time I'm here, I see him. And it's been a while since I've been here, but he comes over, starts talking to me, gets off the table. Why you get off the table that you're playing on just to go talk to someone? You're giving up making money potentially so that you can go talk to someone. It's just crazy to me. Things turn around and start another shoe, and there's a point where I want to go to 2 hands, and they won't let me. There's a limit of how much, just what you can do if you're not playing rated. So I stay with 1, and that's actually when things started getting a lot better. And I went from being down to, by the end of that shoe, being ahead 700. So plus 700, I was happy. I was leaving, and I thought, okay, I've got like 12 minutes, no time to check slots. I just got to keep on going and just go to the car. And what do? I see a slot, and I'm like, no way, I can't. There's not enough time. That thing will take 5 or 6 minutes at least. I don't have time to do it. So I walk by it, and then I come back, and I sit down, and I start playing it, and played it through. And like I said, timing right now. And now the rain is coming down so hard outside. Anyway, so I ended up actually winning $86 on that. And now I am back in the car, and it is raining so hard outside. My car smells like onions for some reason. I have no idea what's going on here. Anyway, so right now I just have a few minutes before my meeting starts, getting my laptop out and getting ready to go. Where I go from here is interesting. The nearest place is not very far away, but I'm not going to be ready to play at that time, and it doesn't have a ton of opportunity. So I may go in there anyway, just have them on mute and say, I need to put you on mute for a few minutes, and then go in and play, and then come back out. I mean, I know I'm going to be a big part of this next meeting, but I feel like if there's a casino and it's only like half an hour away, that I can go into that casino while I'm on the meeting and say, oh, I got something going on here. I'll still be able to hear you, but I won't be able to respond. And then walk in, move it over to my cell phone, and listen to the meeting while I'm walking. I think that would be okay. Man, now they're doing some kind of work here also. Man, don't you hate it when someone has the right of way and they insist on stopping and not going and waving you on, and it's like, just go. You're causing a possible accident here by letting me go. You have the right of way, just go. Anyway, all right, so I am going to move on here. I have about 1 minute, so I'm going to hop on the highway here in a few minutes and head toward the next casino. And then depending on how that meeting is going, I'll sit in the car for an hour and a half or an hour by the time I get there, or I'll go in and try to make a little bit of money, weasel out a few bucks, because then if the rest of the meeting is another hour, then I'm 45 minutes further down the road, and I would have, you know what I mean? So I can go to 2 casinos instead of 1 in that time, but I don't know if that makes sense or if I'm babbling here. But I am moving on to the next casino, and I'll let you know how things go. Oh, one other thing, when I walked in, I know I have 0 time, but when I walked into the casino, there's a guy in front of me, young guy. he's asked for ID, and then he gives him the ID, and he can walk in. I walk in behind him. As soon as I walk by, and what was going through my mind is, I've done so well at this place lately. As soon as I walk by the security, he's like, "Sir, I need to talk to you for a second." And I'm like, "What?" And he was actually talking to the other guy. The other guy had brought in a bottle of water, and you're not allowed to bring outside drinks and food in. So I'm like, oh my gosh, I was just thinking, I've done nothing but win here lately. And then the security guy says, "Hey, I gotta talk to you." So, all right, I'll be back. My God, that meeting was a disaster. That was hour and a half, full hour and a half. Couldn't get out of the car the whole time. I was driving the meeting most of the time, so that doesn't help things. So sit in the parking lot the whole time, and then finally get done and go in, and there's zero. So it's like, it feels like so much wasted time. I know I'm doing a job, I'm supposed to be doing that, but man, what a waste. I walk in and see two of the biggest, worst people as far as checking machines that have been kicked out of everywhere, and they're hanging around here. So you know there's nothing. Go through the whole place, I find nothing. So right now I have enough time, since I was only in there for a minute, to go to another place, and I need to get some food here. I can get some food on my way to, well, you know what? I have food at that place. The problem is I'll have to go in there, play for about 40 minutes, go order food, get the food, take it back to the car, and eat it during the next meeting. But looks like they're putting me in charge of the next meeting, and I'll be sharing the whole time, which is definitely not what we want. So eating is not going to be too possible. So let me think here. Maybe I'll just get some bottles of drinks or something to take with me, and then pick something up on the way there, so I'm eating in the car while I'm driving instead of in the car while I'm displaying my screen and taking questions and things like that. So I mean, how bad could that get? This is a terrible situation. Lose an hour and a half in a parking lot. Now I have to drive another 45 minutes and then sit and go in there real quick and play, come back to the car and sit in the car for another hour and run the meeting, and then I'll be available for the rest of the day. The only problem is the day will be over by then, so let's see what happens here. Man, there was, by the way, when I got into this parking lot, the rain got so bad, it was so loud, and it stopped right in time. As soon as the meeting was over, the rain stopped, and I was able to go in and check things. But of course, like I said, found nothing. So, all right, I'll be back with you. Whew, my goodness, it's hotter than a jalapeno's armpit out here. My gosh, wow. All right. So I go into this casino. I only have about a half hour before my meeting starts, and I run in. I'm like, I'm going to find a couple good plays, get them done, and get out. I get to the car a minute after the meeting starts, and most of that time was on one machine, and it didn't go well. It was about $3 a spin, and ended up down $223 on that. So went to the car, did the meeting. Since I was presenting, since there was a manager and a director and a bunch of other people there, I didn't want to drive while I was conducting the meeting. So I sat in the parking lot, took care of the meeting, did a good job, everybody's happy, and looked at the time and see when my partner that helps me with this project does presentations, she takes forever. I'm talking an hour and a half or longer. I got through the whole meeting, questions, demonstration, everything, in about 30 minutes. Popped back into the casino. I was in there for about another half hour or so, and found a couple other plays, and ended that session ahead $137. So minus 223 plus 137, whatever that comes out to, like minus 47 or something, I don't know, something like that, 46, 47. So at this point, what are we gonna do? What do you think? Ended up down like 86 there. Right now, timing wise, it's getting late. If I went straight home, it's already going to be 5 o'clock, and I can't go straight home from here. It's just too much going on, too many casinos along the way. I can at least attempt to hit one more casino. I'm not going to have any kind of free play or anything there. I don't go there often, but it's a swingy casino. I don't mean there's swingers there. I mean the casino is either really good or really bad, depending on who's there. And unfortunately, it's probably going to be busy there today, and it's probably a mistake, but I'm going to go ahead and take a shot. There are 3 or 4 machines there that I seem to be the only one to be looking at, so hopefully I can make some money on those, and yeah, we'll find out. One thing I wanted to say here, I wanted to thank you guys. When I started this podcast a little over 2 years ago, of course, I had my friend Bo with me from the beginning, from like episode 2 or 3. He was with me. We would talk about my day and what I did and all that, and it was a big loss losing him last year, June 24th. I don't know if you guys remember me talking about that, but it was a big loss, and he made things a lot more fun, and having this community to talk to and communicate with is very important to me, and I'm very happy to be associated with everyone, and I've met a lot of people in different cities. We've gone on trips together. We've done so many things together. We've made money together. We've lost money together, and I met some excellent people. Some unbelievable people, good families, good children, and I just want to thank you guys for that. I never thought the day that I did the first episode, I remember exactly where I was, driving down the street, and I said, let me just try to do this, and I don't know if I'll ever publish this or not. And I even said that in the first episode, and I did like, I don't know how long, 20-minute thing, just nonstop, one take, and just pouring it out from my heart. I never thought at that point that 2 years later, our views would be in the 6 figures. I'd have episodes in the 4 figures as far as views, and that makes me feel really good that there's a good community of people out there helping each other out, working together, and listening to all my rants and raves and all the good and all the bad. So one more casino I want to stop at. Let's do our little side bits that we're starting to do. Number one, what did you eat today, MW? So I did stop for some food. There's a Little Caesars. I know I either love Little Caesars or hate it. Little Caesars right next to a gas station that's always very cheap. So of course that worked for me. Paid $5.99 for a pizza. Ate that, and not the whole, well, almost. And then filled up gas real close to there, and so that's what I ate today, pepperoni pizza. And what did you tip today, MW? And during my entire time playing, including my blackjack session, $0. So $0 tipping, and spent $6 on food. So can you imagine if I tipped 20, 50, 100? That's my whole day's food. Come on, man. And then I did get some free drinks from a casino. I ended up with 9 free drinks. So I'll keep those around and put them in my fridge a couple at a time and take them with me when I travel. And that's, again, I just want to thank you guys, and I'll be back with you. All right, guys, as I'm walking to my car, melting. Whew, so hot. I go into this place, and it's busy as expected, but then I started seeing something different. I started seeing a lot of the good machines disappearing. I don't know if this is going to be a big thing, if it's going to be nationwide or what, but a lot of the machines that we make money from are starting to go away. Now, I know there's a new generation of machines coming out. I don't know how good they are. I don't know how well they pay. I don't know how often they get in position. But what I can tell you is right now, immediately, what I'm seeing is a lot of good stuff disappearing, and I'm not very happy about it. I did play a couple things, and I did okay, actually, overall. I was in there for 30 minutes or so. What's going on here? Anyway, after finishing up, I was on my way out, and I'm walking out by these machines that are like the fake machines that, try to trick people into playing them, and I hear this one lady saying to the other lady, yeah, it stinks because it's right there, and then you have to put more money in there. So don't tell me that casinos that they don't go after people who can't afford it. Don't tell me that they don't try to trick people into thinking something is more probable than what it is. I mean, if they didn't have those false things on those machines, a lot of people would have gotten up. But, keep on trying, you're going to hit, and people lose more money than they can afford. Actually, that reminded me, on my way out, of a couple days ago. I was sitting at a table playing, and a guy and his girlfriend walk in, and they hand the pit boss their card, and she says his card is not working. The players club is not open because it's like 4 a.m. at this point. And so the pit boss says, I'll take a look at it. He takes it, and he comes back, and he says, well, it says you're an advantage player, you're not supposed to be in here. And the player's like, what? He has no clue what the guy's talking about because he's not an advantage player. And the pit boss goes, you ever count cards or anything like that? And the guy says, yeah, I wish. And the guy was just joking with him, but I'm sitting right next to the guy, and he says that, so I was a little bit surprised. But he was just messing with the guy, kind of scared the guy for a minute. He thought that he was going to get thrown out of there for something. What else? Okay, that's it at the moment. Looks like my director asked me to run a special scan just to see what pops up, so I'm doing that right now. And I'm going to start my drive here, and I'll be back to update you. Alright guys, I'm back. So we had a decent day today. I think we made around $12.50. Not bad for a day that we really couldn't go out of town. I did have some free play out of town that I couldn't get to. It was too far away. I did make a deal with someone for it, so I made a little bit of money from that. A lot of these apps will allow you to change your PIN through the app, so I can change it and then change it back, let someone use my card temporarily, as long as they promise not to play anything that has a big jackpot that they're going to get a W-2 for, because last thing you need is someone to use your free play and get a W-2 and then try to explain stuff, and they understand that I will deny knowing them or giving them the card if they hit some kind of a W-2 on there. So overall, not bad. Raining again on the way home, 75 degrees, and just gonna relax, enjoy the weekend. Got a lot to do at home, and a lot of catching up with the kids and all that stuff. We were on the trip, and then I was out for an overnight and all that stuff. So pretty exciting stuff. Been watching all the World Series of Poker stuff. I've been enjoying it. I just can't see how those guys can stand it, how they can stand to put that many hours to put into a game, that much emotional, I don't know what the word is, to have your emotions that tied up and to be always in the negatives until you hit a big score, and you're only going to score 1 out of 8, 1 out of 10 times probably. And I mean, you could be a lot better than that too, but watching these guys play dozens of tournaments and only getting in the money here and there, it's just very hard for me, But I will play one of those big events one of these days, but not yet. We'll see how it goes. So for now, I'm going to say have a good weekend. If you have any questions or comments, the email is mwusa21@gmail.com, mwusa21@gmail.com. See you next time.